Yankees facing massive bidding war for superstar outfielder. With the playoffs quickly approaching for the New York Yankees, so too does the end of Juan Soto's arbitration process. Soto signed a one-year, $31 million deal in the final year of arbitration, and he's now on the brink of an exciting offseason that will likely make him a very, very rich man. If you're a fan of the Yankees, write "Go Yankees" in the comments and subscribe to the channel. Yankees push to retain Soto. It's been widely reported that the Yankees are preparing to make a strong push to retain Soto services for the long term. At just 25 years old, Soto is a generational talent who is still in the early stages of his prime. Many teams would jump at the opportunity to sign him, but if he helps the Yankees in a deep playoff run, managing partner Hal Steinbrenner may feel compelled to offer him a blank check. A deal worth over $500 million is realistic, but the Yankees will have to face stiff competition from their crosstown rivals, the Mets, in a bidding war. Soto's career year. This year, Soto is having one of the best seasons of his career. Over 152 games, he's hitting .287/.418/.572 with a career-high 40 home runs and 104 RBIs. Impressively, Soto has maintained a higher walk rate than strikeout rate, and his 179 WRC+ is the best of his career when excluding the shortened 2020 season. Additionally, his 7.9 WAR is also a career high, further demonstrating his value. While he's historically been seen as a defensive liability, Soto has been surprisingly adequate in the outfield this season. In 1,242.2 innings in right field, he's posted -1 defensive runs saved and -4 outs above average. Though slightly below average, his defensive performance has been more than acceptable given his extraordinary offensive output. A generational duo with Aaron Judge. Soto is already a World Series champion, and his presence in the Yankees lineup, alongside Aaron Judge, could set the stage for years of dominance. While Judge remains the best defensive player in the game, he is getting older. Pairing him with a younger superstar like Soto creates an offensive duo that is truly special and one that would have the late George Steinbrenner smiling from above. The Mets competition. The Mets are expected to be the Yankees' primary competition for Soto, given their financial strength. However, the Mets are projected to be somewhat cash-strapped for the 2025 offseason, as they continue to pay off contracts from players they've moved in the past. If they're targeting both Soto and pitcher Corbin Burnes, they may have to choose between them. This should lead to an aggressive and fast-moving bidding war for the superstar outfielder. Financial flexibility for the Yankees. While the Yankees currently find themselves slightly over the $300 million luxury tax threshold, that number is expected to decrease significantly with the departure of several players, including Gleyber Torres and his $14+ million salary. The Yankees also project to transition to a younger, cheaper core of talent, including players like Jason Dominguez, Anthony Volpe, Luis Gil, and Austin Wells. Even Ben Rice could potentially step into a starting role at first base if the team decides to part ways with Anthony Rizzo, a move that is expected. Soto's current $31 million salary may increase by $15 million or more in his next deal, but the Yankees can easily absorb that cost by reallocating funds from departing players like Torres. This would allow them to retain Soto without significantly altering their financial outlook. A no-brainer for the Yankees. Ultimately, the Yankees have no reason to let Juan Soto walk. Their financial situation, bolstered by a wave of young talent taking over key positions, makes it clear that they are more than capable of retaining Soto. For a player of his caliber who is already making a massive impact at just 25 years old, it would be wise for the Yankees to lock him up for the next decade and beyond. Now, before we dive into a quick recap, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any Yankees updates. Summary: the Yankees are entering a massive bidding war for superstar outfielder Juan Soto, who's having one of the best seasons of his career. Soto's hitting .287 with 40 home runs and has posted a career-high WAR of 7.9. The Yankees are preparing a big offer to retain him, while the Mets are expected to be their main competition. Financially, the Yankees have room to work with, especially with departing players like Gleyber Torres and younger, cheaper talent emerging. Soto, alongside Aaron Judge, would form an incredible offensive duo for years to come. What do you think? Will the Yankees keep Soto, or will another team snag him? Let us know in the comments. Could Yankees bring back former ace on affordable deal? Vincent Carcietta Main Images. As the old saying goes, you can never have too much pitching. For that, the New York Yankees should be looking to upgrade their staff in the offseason, regardless of their postseason outcome in October. If you are a fan of the Yankees, write "Go Yankees" in the comments and subscribe to the channel. The one that got away for the Yankees, former ace Luis Severino, has had a significant amount of success for the crosstown rival New York Mets this season. Severino, finally healthy, has gone 11-6 with a 3.79 ERA, a 1.22 WHIP, and has racked up 156 strikeouts in 178 innings across 30 starts, the most he's had since 2018. The 30-year-old spent the first 8 seasons of his big league career with the Yankees, and he was an all-star in back-to-back seasons in 2017 and 2018. Unfortunately, various injuries sidelined him, but the Mets managed to get him back on track in 2024. Severino signed a 1-year, $13 million, prove-it deal with the Mets, which has turned out to be a great move for them. But now he's heading back to free agency after the season, and the Yankees have some big choices to make. With superstar outfielder Juan Soto set to become a free agent and ace Garrett Cole having an opt-out clause in his contract, the Yankees' priority list is long. It's pretty clear that Soto will be the top target for the Yanks, and they have the option to add an extra year to Cole's deal at $36 million to keep him around. But once those moves are made, the Yankees should seriously consider bringing Severino back. According to Spotrac, Severino could be looking at a contract around 4 years, $48 million deal that would be affordable even if they manage to retain both Soto and Cole. Severino has spent his entire career in New York. Convincing him to come back to the Yankees might not be too tough, especially with the history he has with the organization. It feels like the stars are aligning for a possible reunion. Before we wrap up, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the latest Yankees news. We've got plenty more updates and stories coming your way. Hit that bell so you're the first to know. Alright, that's the scoop on a potential Severino-Yankees reunion. What do you think? Should the Yankees make the move to bring him back? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and write "Go Yankees" if you bleed pinstripes. Let's go Yankees! Wendell Cruzamain Images. Once the playoffs conclude, the New York Yankees will be facing one of the most important off-seasons in team history. Outfielder Juan Soto, who the Yankees acquired in a blockbuster trade with the San Diego Padres, will be entering free agency after enjoying the best all-around season of his career. The 25-year-old boasts a .287/.418/.572/ line with career highs in home runs, 40, runs scored, 124, WRC+, in a full season, 179, and FWAR, 7.9, as of September 24th. Although Soto is visibly enjoying his time in the Bronx, he has smartly not made any commitments regarding his future with the team, as his elite performances and career year have him set up for a record-setting contract in the offseason. To maximize that deal, Soto is keeping all of his options open. If you are a fan of Yankees, write "Go Yankees" in the comments and subscribe to the channel. However, a former Yankee great believes that Soto has found his true calling in New York. During the Pitt CCH in Foundation's 4th annual charity golf tournament, 19-year veteran left-handed pitcher CC Sabathia gave his thoughts on Soto's impending free agency. "I think it's a must-have on both sides," Sabathia said. "I think for him it makes sense. And for the Yankees it makes sense. Honestly, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I think you just look at the season, it played out perfectly." Sabathia may be somewhat biased due to spending the final 11 seasons of his career with the Yankees. However, he was in a similar situation that Soto is about to face. The lefty was the most coveted free agent of the 2008 to 2009 offseason after leading the majors in shutouts, and, in a quirky yet remarkable feat, was the shutout leader in both the American and National Leagues. Sabathia ultimately signed with New York and went on to become one of their most beloved players in recent memory. As for Sabathia's statement, it rings true in a number of ways. While Soto has been an elite player ever since his debut at age 19, the Yankees have provided a few factors that allowed him to reach new heights. Yankee Stadium's short porch in right field has given the 25-year-old an easy target to hit homers. While Soto's power plays well to all fields, having the short porch certainly helped him blow by his previous career best in long balls. Additionally, Soto has superstar outfielder Aaron Judge batting behind him, discouraging opposing pitchers from walking the lefty, although he still ranks second in MLB with 125 free passes, and giving him better pitches to hit. Hitting in front of Judge has also been a key factor behind Soto's career high in runs scored. On the flip side, Soto's arrival immediately improved the Bronx Bombers, going from a fringe playoff team to possibly the team to beat in the AL. The lineup also went from mediocre to the third best in baseball. Only the Arizona Diamondbacks and Los Angeles Dodgers have scored more runs. The 25-year-old has also allowed Judge to enjoy possibly the best season of his career as well. He leads the majors with 138 RBI, in large part due to Soto's on-base skills, and has clobbered 55 home runs. Needless to say, competition for Soto in free agency will still be fierce due to his open-minded approach. But Sabathia is correct in that the Yankees and Soto have both benefited from each other, and it makes all the sense in the world for the two sides to make a deal during the offseason. That's the latest buzz, and if you love keeping up with everything Yankees, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Who wouldn't want to stay on top of the big moves coming this offseason? What do you think? Will Soto stick around in the Bronx or look elsewhere for his next big contract? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. How Yankees' biggest what-if altered their season. Jim Cowser Images. Former New York Yankees closer Clay Holmes started the 2024 season as one of baseball's best relievers. And despite Holmes' struggles before the All-Star break, New York GM Brian Cashman kept enough faith in Holmes that he didn't pursue a top relief arm during the trade deadline. Unfortunately, that decision hasn't aged well. Holmes continued to struggle and was eventually removed from the Yankees' closer role in early September. While Luke Weaver has performed great in that role, the Yankees' lack of depth at the end of their bullpen could prove disastrous this postseason. Which begs the question, what would have happened if the Yankees had less faith in Clay Holmes? That's the exact what-if scenario that Joel Reuter of Bleacher Report addresses in a September 24 article. The 31-year-old did not allow an earned run in his first 20 appearances this year, and he had a 1.23 ERA and 19 saves in 22 opportunities through June 9th when things went off the rails, Reuter wrote of Holmes. He struggled to a 7.45 ERA with 3 losses and 3 blown saves in his final 10 appearances of the first half, but still earned a spot on the AL All-Star team for his strong start to the year. The rocky road to nailing down saves continued in the second half, but the team waited until he recorded his 11th blown save of the year on September 3rd to finally remove him from the closer's role. Now they are left with starter-turned-reliever Luke Weaver as the primary ninth-inning option. While Tommy Connell and Ian Hamilton are also high-leverage options, Reuter continued. If they had acknowledged Holmes' struggles earlier, they could have done a better job bolstering the relief core at the trade deadline. One possible trade deadline option would have been former Marlins closer Tanner Scott, who was ultimately traded to the San Diego Padres and excelled there ever since. The Yankees are still an elite team that's poised to make a run at the World Series. But if the season doesn't end in the way New York wants, especially if their bullpen falters, the decision to stick with Holmes instead of trading for another closer could come back to haunt them. This article first appeared on New York Yankees on SI and was syndicated with permission. If you are a fan of Yankees, write "Go Yankees" in the comments and subscribe to the channel. Now, Clay Holmes started the season in 2024 on fire. He was literally one of the best relievers in the game, and people were taking notice. For his first 20 appearances, he didn't allow a single earned run, sporting a crazy 1.23 ERA and grabbing 19 saves by June 9th. But then, things took a turn. He really hit a rough patch and struggled with a 7.45 ERA in his last 10 appearances before the All-Star break. Even though it was obvious he wasn't the same, he still earned an All-Star spot because of his early dominance. The Yankees stuck with him, despite the ups and downs. However, the wheels fell off completely, and after 11 blown saves by early September, they had no choice but to pull him from the closer's role. Luke Weaver has been doing a solid job taking over the 9th inning, but the bullpen is thin, and they could be in trouble when it really counts in the postseason. It's hard not to wonder, what if they had gone for someone else at the trade deadline? Could this have been avoided? Joel Reuter over at Bleacher Report pointed out that the Yankees could have made a move for someone like Tanner Scott, who got traded to the Padres and has been lights out since then. It's one of those big what-ifs that could haunt the Yankees if things don't pan out. Now, the Yankees are still one of the best teams out there and have a real shot at the World Series. But if the bullpen doesn't hold up, this decision to stick with Holmes might come back to bite them. Only time will tell, right? Alright, that's the latest on this what-if situation with the Yankees. We'll have to see how this plays out in the postseason. Make sure you don't miss out on any updates by subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications. You won't want to miss the next big move by the Yankees. Let me know in the comments, do you think the Yankees should have made a move for another closer? Or was sticking with Holmes the right call? I'm curious to hear what you think. Luis Gil has had a great first full year in the New York Yankees starting rotation. But even after helping the Bombers beat the Oakland Athletics 7-4 on Sunday, Gil's manager, Aaron Boone, still finds one aspect of his game disconcerting: his first inning struggles. If you are a fan of Yankees, write "Go Yankees" in the comments and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, a little bit, Boone said, when asked if he was concerned about Gil's issues in the opening innings of his last two starts. Want him to get in that rhythm, obviously, early. That first inning, the last few starts, like you said, has been a bugaboo for him. In Sunday's matchup, after retiring the first two A's he faced, Gil walked J.J. Bleday and Shea Langeliers, setting up a two-run double by Tyler Soderstrom. He pitched well the rest of the way, leaving two inherited runners to Ian Hamilton in the top of the sixth inning, but Hamilton allowed both runners to score on a Ryan Noda double. In Gil's previous start against the Seattle Mariners, he was lucky to escape the first inning without giving up a run. He hit the first batter, got a fly ball out, then walked the next two hitters to load the bases. After a pop-out, Mariners DH Victor Robles bizarrely tried stealing home but was thrown out, ending the inning. Throughout this season, Gil has consistently struggled with command in the first inning. Before Sunday's game, batters had a .336 on-base percentage against him in the first frame. He's now issued 25 walks and hit two batters in the first innings of his 28 starts. Interestingly, despite these struggles, Gil's first inning has been his best in terms of earned runs allowed. He's been excellent at limiting the damage, holding opponents to a .158 batting average and posting a 2.25 ERA in the first inning across the season. Now with a 15-6 record, a solid 3.27 ERA, and 166 strikeouts in 146 innings, Gil is a likely candidate to start in the postseason for the Yankees. However, if he can't find a way to throw more strikes in the first inning, it could become a problem when facing top-tier lineups in the playoffs. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any Yankees updates. We're bringing you all the latest news, highlights, and interviews right here on the channel. What do you think? Is Gil's first inning struggle something to worry about? Or do you believe he'll get it under control? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. The Yankees are gearing up for the playoffs, and while having a fully stacked roster would be ideal, it's unlikely veteran utility man DJ LeMahieu will make a significant impact unless absolutely necessary. If you are a fan of Yankees, write "Go Yankees" in the comments and subscribe to the channel. LeMahieu struggles in 2024. LeMahieu has had his worst season as a professional, playing just 67 games and slashing .204/.269/.259. He has only managed 2 home runs, 26 RBIs, and carries a 52 WRC+, meaning he's been 48% worse than the average MLB hitter. Despite his excellent defensive skills, LeMahieu has become a liability at the plate, and his offensive struggles have overshadowed his utility. Recently, the Yankees placed LeMahieu on the 10-day injured list with a right hip impingement. While he has begun some light baseball activities, such as hitting off a tee, it remains doubtful that he will be ready in time to make an impact during the playoffs. Oswald Cabrera's emergence as a reliable option. With LeMahieu sidelined and struggling, Oswald Cabrera has emerged as a reliable option for the Yankees. The 25-year-old has proven his versatility, playing all 7 field positions, including some first base. Over 106 games this season, Cabrera is hitting .247/.297/.364 with 8 home runs and 36 RBIs. Since September 1st, Cabrera has been particularly impressive, hitting .294 with a .400 on-base percentage. Manager Aaron Boone has little reason to disrupt Cabrera's spot in the lineup, especially considering LeMahieu's inconsistency throughout the season. Yankees' depth in the infield and outfield. The Yankees are fortunate to have significant depth both in the infield and outfield as they approach the playoffs. Alex Verdugo and Jason Dominguez provide solid options in the outfield, while Jazz Chisholm has the hot corner secured. Anthony Volpe continues to impress at shortstop, potentially having a Gold Glove caliber season, and Gleyber Torres has been one of the team's most consistent offensive contributors in recent months. Playoff outlook for the Yankees. With 6 regular season games remaining and the likelihood of skipping the wild card round, the Yankees are set to enjoy a few extra days of rest before the ALDS. While DJ LeMahieu's return before the playoffs seems unlikely, the team's depth and current form make them well-positioned for a deep postseason run. The Yankees are peaking at the right time, and the lineup looks solid without the need to rush LeMahieu back into action. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates as we head into the playoffs. We've got a lot of exciting coverage coming your way. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about DJ LeMahieu's chances of making a difference in the playoffs? Should the Yankees bring him back or stick with the hot hands in the lineup? Let us know in the comments.